completion. All right, thank you. Well, let's start with this.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Prices have gone up.
Yep.
And
Vice President.
families and individuals are dealing with the realities of that bread costs more, the gas costs more.
Okay, we know.
And we have to understand what that means. That's about the cost of living going up.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow. Smart.
She's fucking retarded.
I think her name is Captain Obvious.
This fucking bitch is so stupid.
Okay.
She really is, though.
The views of
If you listen to
Bobby
her
and
She's a fucking moron.
are not the views of Limo Talk.
Yes, they are. I was booked on the Titan submarine, and I ran $249,000 short on my ticket purchase. So it kind of worked out in my favor, you know. There was a lot of pressure, I heard, and
Oh my God.
you know, you think about it. You didn't follow the story at all. What in your fucking wildest dreams in your mind would you possibly think is smart about doing a trip like that? What the fuck could you possibly? And you want to look at 115-year-old ruins at the bottom of an ocean that there's pictures all over the place of. Why do you need to see it?
My buddy says, imagine you going up to the gates of heaven or the depths of hell and sitting in front of them and saying, so how did you die? I went to go visit the Titanic and got stuck.
Yeah. You moron. They would send, they press the button and send them right down to the base. The moron room.
But they're billionaires.
But there was a kid, one of the kids whose father wanted to go on it.
Was the Pakistani businessman.
He said, no, but he died. No, I'm talking about the other. There was another kid. Son. There was another guy and his kid that was supposed to do the trip.
I saw the
and the
interview.
kid said, I don't like it. I'm not doing it.
Yes.
I suggest against it. We're not doing
Smart kid.
it. And they're still here because of that.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
That thing looked like it was made by Nerf. I mean, look at that fucking thing. It should have had Oscar Mayer on the side of the fucking thing. That thing was pathetic. How pathetic that was that they got on it is even worse. I mean, you get on a thing like that, I would never. I'd look at that and go,
by
a PlayStation
thing.
No.
And
I'd look at that and I'd be like, I'm out.
He's
I'm
raving
out.
about the controller as if it's like some.
Look how
great
easy.
thing.
I got three of them.
Yeah, I got three of them and I could break it.
Yeah. I mean, you know, and somebody wrote on Facebook, they were talking about how people making jokes about it. And they're going, in this day and age, what the hell's wrong with people? They make jokes about this. We're so classless. And I wrote back, I was like, are you out of your mind? I remember in the 80s when Natalie Wood died.
Oh, yes.
They made jokes like you wouldn't fucking believe.
I remember.
But they just weren't on social media, so everybody wasn't reading them, but just saying them. It was like, what's the only wood that won't float? Natalie Wood. Yeah? Why didn't Natalie Wood take a bath on the ship? She wanted to wash up on shore. Right? Right? Vic Morrow.
Still funny today, folks.
Vic Morrow, who died from the helicopter accident doing the Twilight Zone movie. They make jokes about him like fucking crazy. How did you know Vic Morrow had dandruff?
How did you know if Vic Morrow had dandruff?
They found his head and shoulders in the bushes. Right? Now, that and Kristen McCullough.
He's here all night, folks.
Kristen McCullough.
Try the veal.
Remember when they had the Challenger in 1986? The Challenger blew up?
Yes.
There was jokes about that. Kristen McCullough was a teacher, and she was booked on the flight, like they're doing with this fucking thing. They're putting some teacher to get some experience. They put her on there, and they said, what were Kristen McCullough's last words?
God.
What's this button for? Hey, those jokes were going around then, and they're getting offended. I mean, first of all, I think these people are bigger morons. I mean, first of all, Natalie Wood didn't do anything that was stupid. She fucking got killed, I think, right?
So, well,
by Robert Wagner.
By Robert Wagner,
I hate
right?
to say, but
Allegedly.
Do you know who the third person was on that boat?
That was
you have to listen. You'd be very surprised the way things that are said by your mouth, her mouth, his mouth, and my mouth get around. Say allegedly. Say allegedly. It's a good thing.
There's nothing I say that I have definite proof about, but I'm just saying. I think that Robert Wagner probably got pissed off and smacked her, and she went flying off the boat. Now, whatever. But what are you doing? What are you doing with Christopher Walken?
There's only two people that know what happened on that boat that day.
It's true. It was 40 years ago.
How many years ago?
40.
It was 40 years.
What does it say to that? What was
40 years later, the mystery of a Natalie Wood's death endures. They classified her death as an accident, concluding that the 43-year-old star of West Side Story, who couldn't swim, had been drinking the night before she was found floating face down in the ocean water.
So they found her. She wasn't fish food.
Of course they found her.
Well, of course they found her.
Right. It's been a Hollywood mystery, the topic of tabloid speculation, blah, blah, blah. TV, books, movies, specials have been done about the story. 30 years later, LA County officials reopened the investigation in 2013. So 10 years ago, they reopened.
Wow.
They changed the cause of death from accidental drowning to drowning and other undetermined factors.
Like a whack in the head.
So 30 years later,
a lead pipe to the head.
Right, such
undetermined. We weren't sure if it was a 2-inch pipe or a 3-inch
They
pipe.
just make it more
Right, but
mysterious.
I was going to say, how does that clarify anything? So it's not an
doesn't.
accidental drowning.
It doesn't.
She drowned, and there's other shit that we really don't know what happened 30 years later. We didn't know then, and we don't know now.
No.
But other people have said this, so we'll go with that. Maybe she did get hit with a pipe.
We can't even figure out who shot John Kennedy. So how are we supposed to figure this out? And they're going to tell you, 500 years ago what Christopher Columbus did. They can't even tell me what John Kennedy did on the day he got shot and who shot him.
Right.
Come on.
Speaking of that, can I just go in a different direction for 1 second?
Of course. Speaking of that, let's talk about something else.
No, Russia. Russia. What the hell happened within a 24-hour period? Like a private
There was a mutiny.
A private militia head took over, who had about 30 to 40,000 fighters, went forward against the troops in Russia and almost toppled
There was
Putin?
almost.
I'm actually, I don't know.
Almost
I didn't read
a takeover and then almost a coup. If it would have continued, it would have been a coup.
You checked that? What happened today? Do you know what happened today? There was like a coup today.
There was like a.
there
I'm
was.
sorry, I was still reading about the Natalie Wood because
All right,
now I like.
What's the only wood that doesn't float?
Natalie.
No, Putin.
I started reading because they were talking about the new investigation, and as Bobby says now, the new coroner's report cites fresh bruises on the actress's arms and knee, along with a scratch on her neck and a scrape on her forehead, as evidence that she may have been assaulted before she drowned.
Oof.
And that's 30 years ago.
That's 30 years ago.
I think we have a bingo.
I think we may have a match. Gene Rayburn, please come to the stage.
Yeah, with a long microphone.
Remember him? Gene Rayburn.
Yeah.
Gene Rayburn, match game.
Natalie Wood was hit with blank.
Right.
Who was the guy? Who was the guy who used to do the rhyming?
Oh,
Nipsey Russell.
Nipsey Russell.
Yes.
Nipsey
Russell.
Oh, my
Yeah.
father
Nipsey-
hated him.
You hated him,
My father hated him.
and I liked
Nipsey
him.
Russell,
father thought
he was
sucked.
funny. He always had the same kind of just, crack up at himself and smile.
Do a stupid rhyme. Thought he was Muhammad. He was like Muhammad Ali without the talent. Basically, I don't know. My father. There was a story. My father we were at Yankee Stadium in 1971. Okay, me and my brother, little kids, standing there, and we see. And the Yankees weren't that good then. And we see Horace Clark talking to Nipsey Russell right by the Yankee dugout.
That's a two. I didn't make those two names up.
Horace
Horace Clark, second baseman for the Yankees.
Yes.
Nipsey Russell
And Nipsey
on The
Russell.
Price is Right, or whatever
Yeah.
that was.
Well, no, he was on the Dean Martin roast all the time and stuff. Nipsey Russell, Dean Martin liked him. But anyway, he had so he's standing there. My father yells out, "Hey Horace, how about a couple autographs for the kids?" You know. We're only, at the top of the row where the aisle is.
Yeah.
He waves back, and Nipsey Russell looks up at us like this. He looks up. And my father goes, "Hey, the kids want a couple autographs. I'm sending them down." So Horace Clark goes like this. He goes, "I can't now, man." He goes, "No, you can't now, but you can talk to that idiot."
Oh
And
no!
you can talk to that moron. He goes, standing there talking to him. You can't sign a couple of pieces of paper over here?
Oh.
You're talking to that talentless asshole right there? You're going to talk to him?
Oh my
Oh,
God!
boy.
And we were like, Dad.
Yeah.
Dad.
Wow,
Can we go now,
gotta come
Dad?
back